Hey, I'm Michaela. Today is my June wrap-up and I'm also going to be doing my July TBR. I am house sitting from the 7th to the 27th and I don't know if I'm going to have internet connection there, so that should be fun. The books I read this month. The first book I read in June. Last month was June. The first book I read in June was A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I really love this book. I haven't read a fantasy book this good in a very long time. I mean, in saying that, I haven't read many books in a very long time. I love Lucian. Lucian is very funny and I really would love to be friends with him very much. I kind of wish I didn't know that this was a retelling of Beauty and the Beast when I went into it. I was like, oh well, obviously this is gonna fix this. The last probably third of the book was so great, so fast paced, I couldn't put it down. I really need the next one really soon. There's an unnecessary repetition of like when she's always like, because of the curse, or like his magic isn't as strong anymore. Like, it's like, we know that, you've said it 3 times, but aside from that, this is a great book. I recommend this to everyone. However, if you're going to get it, don't get the paperback edition because it just doesn't want to stay open. If you're into cracking spines, go for it. There's like 2 millimeters of glue there, it doesn't want to stay open. The next book I read, I did not enjoy at all, and that was The Reader on the 627 by Jean-Paul Didier-Laurent. I don't know. I have a cold. This book, I really like the concept of it, but it was very drawn out. Not even 200 pages. And the first like 150 pages is just like major setup, so much unnecessary detailing that like you're like, oh, maybe he's telling this part of the story because it's going to be relevant later, and it's not. I found it really pretentious. The only parts I really liked was when the character was reading the diary of this woman that he finds, and that's all promised in the blurb. None of that kicks in until the last 30 pages, and I just struggled through this. It was so boring. I don't recommend it to anyone. I think I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads, but it was probably more like a 1.5. The next book I read, Grace's Guide, The Art of Pretending to be a Grown-Up by Grace Helbig. I love Grace. I love her so much, even if she has this flap on her book. I've never read a biography sort of self-help book before. I'm glad I read this. Got it because I love Grace so much. Mum bought it for me. She was like, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, this book. But she's like, I got this for you even though I don't understand why you wanted it, but I got it for you. Thanks, Mom. I thought it was hilarious. It made me feel better about myself. It's made me handle some of my insecurities and anxieties a lot better than I previously had. 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. I loved it. It ended too soon. I want to try some of the recipes she has at the end. The next book I have, which I finished I think at like 2 AM this morning, was The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare from the Magisterium series. I really enjoyed this book a lot. I think I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but I think it was more of a 3.5, but I'm not sure why. I would say this is a solid 4. I couldn't help but make a lot of comparisons to Harry Potter throughout it, even though it's not really like Harry Potter, but there was like, I was like, oh, that character's obviously the Draco Malfoy character. People probably make comparisons to Harry Potter all the time, but it's not really. It's just kids in a magic school, I guess. There's a plot twist at the end that I did not see coming. I was making a lot of guesses along the way and some of them were right. That one was just, wow, I did not, that's a great plot twist. That is such a great plot twist. Now, for my July to be read, the first book I will be reading is Looking for Alaska by John Green. Look at the pretty cover I have. It's so nice. And this is the one with the extra chapters at the back. The author's cut, 10th anniversary edition. Isn't it so much nicer than this? And underneath it's just all black with gold on the side. And pages are black. Not on the inside, but it's just a beautiful book. Beautiful. I'm really excited to read this. I've been wanting to read it for a while now. Since reading Paper Towns, I really want to read more of John's books because I really like them a lot. And so this will be my third John Green read. The next book I'm going to read is The Death Cure by James Dashner. I did not like the Scorched Trials in the slightest. Did not like, oh, I liked the tunnel scene. I probably wouldn't be finishing this series if I didn't have this intense need to actually finish series now. I will finish this because there's movies that I really want to watch. James Dashner has said that in the Scorched Trials movie there will be parts of The Death Cure, so I need to read this before September. If I'll see it the night it comes out, probably because I love Dylan O'Brien a ridiculous amount. Next on my TBR list for July is If I Stay by Gail Forman. Look at this gorgeous cover. This is the first movie cover that I've been like, I need the movie cover. I didn't like the other covers that were available. I think it had the girl's face on it. It was like, oh, like this. It was like that, but different. I think this is nice. This is artsy and I didn't know that this was not a standalone. I haven't seen the film yet. I remember seeing the trailer and crying. I've actually read quite a bit into this until like a thing happens and then I was crying a lot. I've been putting off reading it. I don't know why, I just lost interest in it and all of a sudden I just really want to read it. That's why I'm going to read this. Emotional roller coaster. It says read it and weep on the back. Thanks Daily Mail for assuring me that that's going to be happening. Lastly, if I have time, I will be finishing the remaining 2/3 of The Diviners by Libby Bray. Bray. Whoops. I really like this edition. I'm really mad that the second book only has one cover and it's ugly. I've read that much of this. I started it in 2013. There's a ghost scene and I was reading it really late at night and it scared me so much that I couldn't sleep for a week. It was not fun and I was a bit scared of picking it up, so I didn't. I picked it up since and it's a bit hard to get back into the story. Yeah, but if I have time, if I like get really bored with The Death Cure, I'll read this. And we'll see if I can get to it. It's a lot. Should be good. Rhyming! Thank you so much for watching and I will see you sometime in the future. Hopefully not too far away. I don't know why I have a bookmark in here. It's a Topshop receipt because this book I read in June. The first book I read in July. The Iron Trial. Hey! Today I will be doing a